So it's September, which means that the new school and university terms will be starting very soon, if not they've started already, and probably that some of you watching will be starting university very soon. So I thought I would make a video about my top tips for starting university. I graduated from the University of Brighton last year. I did a 3-year BA Honours course in Media Studies, and I've made a video before all about my personal university experience, so I will try and do the little I thing. I don't actually know how to do it, but I'll try and do that, and also I'll link it down below. Obviously there's loads of different topics relating to university to talk about. There's studying, making friends, dealing with homesickness, how to save money. But I thought for this video, for those people who are going to be starting university really soon, I would just do like my top advice, and then I'd be more than happy to make videos about more like specific things relating to university if you wanted to, and like go into a bit more detail. But yeah, for now these are like my top 10 tips for starting university, so let's just get on with it. Okay, my first piece of advice is to remember that everyone is in the same boat. Chances are, if you're starting university soon, you are also moving away from home for the first time too. So it's a whole new situation in tons of different ways, but it is really important to remember that everybody there is in the same boat. If you move into a halls of residence, that moment when your parents have dropped you off and you've like unloaded all your stuff from the car into your flat, and then you've sort of awkwardly stood in your dorm room and said bye, and then they've driven off, and there's, I don't know, 9 other people in the same flat. That's what you've got to remember, is that you have all gone through the same thing. Other people are probably feeling nervous, excited, scared, all kinds of different emotions will be flying around. And you're not alone in what you're feeling. Meeting new people can be awkward, it can be fun, it can be scary, but yeah, just try and remember that everyone is in the same boat, and I think it will make it quite a lot easier to meet people. My second piece of advice is to have an open mind, and this includes trying new things, don't judge people, and say yes to everything. It all kind of comes into the same category. Just have an open mind. There might be people in your flat that are starkly different to the friends that you've already got. That doesn't mean that you might not get along. Someone might say, oh, do you want to go to a, I don't know, reggae night at some bar, and you might not have thought that that was your thing at all, but then you might go and you might love it. Say yes to things, try new things, have new experiences. Even if you don't enjoy everything that you say yes to, gaining new experiences is so valuable, and through doing it you'll grow as a person, and you'll probably meet lots of new people, and you might discover things that you'd never considered before but that you end up really liking. And that goes with people as well. Like I said, don't judge anyone until you actually know them. You're allowed to judge them when you know them, but don't judge anyone, you know, before you actually get to know them, and just be open with people, have an open mind, all that kind of stuff. Top tip number 3, might seem like an obvious one, but decorate your room. I know that in halls of residence the rooms do tend to be quite ugly, so make it pretty, make it a nice place to live. This is going to be your home for at least a year, so go crazy with the decorations. Stick things all over the walls with blue tack or sellotape or whatever, as long as you can, you know, get it off. Buy plants, get fairy lights, get a nice throw. I think this will also help with feeling more settled and feeling more at home, and not feeling as homesick as well, because I know in my first year I like didn't decorate my room at all, and it never really felt like my room, and I felt unsettled like my whole first year at uni basically. And then in second year I really made an effort to like add more things to my room to make it feel more homely and to feel more like my room, and it definitely helped. So decorating your room is a big thing that I would advise. My fourth piece of advice would be to keep in touch with your friends from home, but don't rush home at the first sign of homesickness. Chances are that you and your friends from home are going to different unis, or some of them might not be going to uni at all, so you're splitting up. Keep in touch with them. The best way that I found to do this is to just have a group message, keep up with each other via that. Obviously like FaceTime, Skype, all that good stuff. And the reason why I say to not rush home at the first sign of homesickness is that that's what I did in my first year of uni, and it massively impacted like potential friendships that I could have had in first year, because I wasn't there as much, because I kept going home because I was homesick. I then didn't really get close with anyone in first year which would then make me more homesick when I was at uni because I didn't really have any close friendships. So you've got to get the balance right between keeping in touch with people from home and having that comfort, but also not to just run away from university when you start feeling homesick, because the more you're there and the more you hang out with people, make an effort with people, the better friendships you are going to have, and then the more comfortable you are going to feel there. Tip number 5 is to cook group dinners. This is such a good thing to do at uni for multiple reasons. It saves money because you split the cost of ingredients. Cook something easy like a big curry, or you could do like a chili or like fajitas, and you can all get involved in the cooking, and then you can all sit around and like have a couple drinks and all share this meal, and it's just like a nice sociable bonding activity to do with your flatmates. And it saves money as well, so definitely cook group dinner. Oh, and you can make it kind of special as well, like say you're all missing your mum's cooking on a Sunday. Cook a roast together. It doesn't have to be like super fancy, just go to the shop, buy a chicken or whatever, cook some veg and some roast potatoes and get some gravy, and you can have a Sunday roast. And Christmas as well, like do a house Christmas dinner or a flat Christmas dinner. That's always a really nice thing to do. Tip number 6 also relates to food, and that would be to learn a few key recipes before you go to uni. Everyone is different. You may cook all the time at home, you may never cook at all at home. Some people come to uni and they already know like how to cook really well, and some people come to uni and they don't even know how to use a microwave. So I would definitely advise to learn a few key recipes before you go. Again, nothing fancy, just simple things like spag bowl or a stir fry or a risotto or a curry. If either of your parents cook, just spend an afternoon with them and get them to teach you a couple of recipes, and then you can take them with you to university and you won't be living off microwave meals or beans on toast for the whole of the time you're there. I think it's really important to eat properly and take care of yourself when you're at uni, because just the student lifestyle in general isn't that healthy. So if you're eating crap as well, it's just like not good for your general well-being. You definitely can eat well at uni without having to spend loads of money, and that's another video that I could do, maybe like money saving tips or like recipes maybe. I don't know, something to do with like food and money. I think there's this massive misconception that to survive at university as a student you have to live off like value beans on toast, and that's not the case. So yeah, learn a few key recipes before you go and you'll be a-okay. My next piece of advice is to get an NUS card and go to student events. Getting an NUS card is really good. You can get discounts at tons and tons of places, like most high street shops, restaurants, travel costs. An NUS card really helps out when it comes to saving money. And then student events, if you're going to a town that's like a student town, there'll be student nights where the drinks will be a lot cheaper. Also, there might be like a student event at your local, you know, if you need to buy some new clothes or you want to buy some new clothes, there might be a student event at your local shopping centre, so go to that. Keep up to date with student events and yeah, get a student card, sign up for uni days, get a rail card, all that kind of stuff, and this will end up saving you a lot of money. Okay, a piece of advice that relates to the actual studying part, which is the whole reason why you're at uni. And my 8th piece of advice would be to try and stay organised. University is a big step up from school or sixth form or college, because whereas in school you like have to be there, and if you're not there or you don't do the work, you'll have like teachers on your back. At uni, the tutors don't care if you don't come in or you don't do the work. It doesn't make a difference to them whether you do it or not, but at the end of the day you're paying 9 grand a year to be there, so you're really only negatively impacting yourself if you don't go and you don't stay up to date and you don't do the work. So staying organised is really important. What I would recommend for that is to get a diary or a calendar. Everyone's different, but for me personally, I liked having a calendar on my wall so that I could write in events and deadlines and stuff, and then I could see it all laid out and I could think, right, I've got 3 weeks till that deadline, or oh, it's such and such event on this day, it's this lecture on this day. Just like, I like just being able to see it all laid out, and especially when I did have a lot of work on a lot of deadlines and stuff, it just like helped me a lot. But yeah, you could get like a little diary or have it on your calendar on your phone. It's up to you, but I would recommend doing that just to stay organised. And the other thing about staying organised as well is to keep a tidy room. I found that when my room was really messy at university, it would like stress me out even more, because you know, I wouldn't be able to find this handout that I'd been given in a lecture or a certain textbook that I needed. Whereas when I'd have my room like tidy and organised, it just made me feel more organised overall. So yeah, get a diary or a calendar and keep a tidy room to try and stay organised. Tip number 9 is a really hard one, but it's one that I think is really important, and this is in order to try and get the balance right between like work and play. To plan your time. There's this opinion that people have of university, and it's like a triangle, and on one point you've got good grades, and on another point you've got social life, and on another point you've got getting enough sleep. This is not the case. You can get good grades and have a good social life and get enough sleep. Well, the enough sleep part, maybe not so much in 3rd year, but like, you can do it. You just need to plan your time well, and I think a lot of people really struggle with this. The way that I personally did it was like Monday to Friday were my working days. They were the days when I'd obviously have like lectures and stuff, and if I didn't have lectures I would probably be in the library working on all the things that I had to do, you know, essays and all that kind of thing. I didn't have like strict regimented times where I had to be in the library, but generally Monday to Friday, 9 to 5-ish, I would work. And because I did that, it meant that I could give myself a day off. So usually I would go out with my friends on a Friday night, which for me was like a great way to just like de-stress and just kind of forget about all the work and stress and just kind of like let my hair down and have a good time. And because I'd worked hard and because I'd worked well during the week, it didn't matter if I then took the whole Saturday to myself to either spend all day in bed hungover and eating pizza, or to hang out with my friends, or to go out and do something. And I didn't feel guilty about it because I had worked hard Monday to Friday. Because I'd planned out my time, I found it a lot easier to get the balance between work and play, and to not get too stressed. And the other thing with getting that balance and not being too stressed is definitely to keep perspective. Yeah, try and keep perspective, plan your time and get the balance and you'll be good. Okay, my 10th piece of advice would be to use the facilities available to you at university. So whether this be the library, online resources, your tutors, and student support as well, I think is a big one that a lot of people forget about. So obviously like with the library, that's just really great to have a space that you can go and do work, and obviously like all the books and everything are in there. You don't need to buy every textbook, your library will probably like have a lot of copies of them. And then like online resources obviously is a given. Tutors are normally quite good at uploading like useful links or lecture slides or whatever, so like make sure you use that. Use your tutors, like your tutors are there to tutor you. If you're struggling with something or you're not sure about an essay that you're writing or whatever, email your tutors or go and see them, and the chances are they will be really helpful to you and they'll make you feel more calm and reassure you, or they'll give you the kick up the bum that you need if you're not doing so well. And then student support as well, I think is something that a lot of people kind of don't realise that the unis have, or they kind of forget about. If you're feeling really homesick or you're suffering with like mental health issues or really struggling with money or anything like that, there are people employed by the university who are there for you to go and talk to, and they can be a massive help. So you are paying a lot of money to be at the university that you're at, so definitely use the facilities and the tutors and all that stuff. So I guess they were like my top 10 tips for starting university, but my final piece of advice is to enjoy. It will undoubtedly be 3 of the best years of your life. I know it was for me. It's such a unique situation to be in, is to be in probably a really cool city or town with loads of like-minded, similar-aged people with loads of fun stuff to do and cool things to learn. And yeah, uni is great, so enjoy it and make the most of it. And I hope that any of you who are watching who are starting university soon have the best time, and I hope that this video helped in some way and you could take a piece of advice away from it. Like I said, if doing more videos on university is something you would like, then I'd be more than happy to do that. I love talking about university, and hopefully I can offer some words of wisdom and some advice that will actually help some people. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck to anyone starting uni soon, and I will speak to you very soon. Goodbye!